All right, welcome, Jayhawks on the Move. I'm Coach Tim Sauer here with head football coach Jacob McMartin. Jacob's third year being the head football coach here. Jayhawks on the Move is powered by Heartland Technology. Coach, it's great to see you. I've seen you all summer, basically. I see you more. Lucky guy. I see you sometimes more than I see my own wife. Let's talk a little bit about the Jayhawks from last year, the 2024 season. You finished 4-5. You made the playoffs for the second time in a row. As many years as you've been the head coach here at Jesup. So let's revisit a little bit about last year's Jayhawks.
Yeah, last year we came in with a lot of guys with returning experience, guys that have played a lot of football. Really good group. They busted their tails from spring through summer going into the season, and we started off really well. Got a couple wins, and then kind of in the middle we hit our adversity big time. We had at one point I think it was 6 starters that were hurt. We dropped 4 games in a row, but the message was always like, hey, we're still in this. We can still reach our goals, and we're able to fight back and get in the playoffs. And that was just outstanding leadership by those guys. Just the type of teammates that they were and the work that they put in to be successful got us back in the playoffs and came up a little short in the first round. And that's always unfortunate. The season has to end at some point for everyone. But those guys, the guys that graduated out last year and the guys that are still back that were part of that team really helped continue to set a precedent for us and what we want to accomplish and what we're able to accomplish.
Right, and that's awesome being able to see you instill that culture, especially last year was being your second year with the Jayhawks. And I think one of the most exciting things to see is the amount of close games you guys have been in and the ability to finish those close games. We've seen before some of our Jayhawk football teams have been in close games and just weren't able to get over the hump. And I think with your players, your staff, and just being able to, with your scheme and your culture, you guys have that ability to get over the hump. Yep. So now let's fast forward a little bit to the summer. This summer, a lot of big changes for you. Mm-hmm. We can kind of talk about you added someone, a new family member to the nest. Yep. You changed your nest, right, as well. Yep. And kind of some of the things that you do with our football players during the summer on Sundays or whatever you do your days. And you can talk a little bit about the football camp that you've been kind of making a tradition. You're trying to make this something that we do here.
Yeah, absolutely. So crazy spring and summer from the McMartin family. We had a new baby, number 4, on May 14th, Jada Claire McMartin. And that kind of led us right into the summertime and things picking up for football. So, we start in June, it's technically June 1st, we can start doing football activities. And I can't remember, I think it was June 2nd was that first Sunday maybe. So we started on Sunday nights. We do 5 Sunday nights. It's like a practice, but it's not a practice, I guess. A little shorter version of that. We call them installs. We just install some of our offense and defense and base scheme. We spent one of those Sundays going to Independence to compete some 7-on-7. I got to play against Independence in Wapsie Valley. And what we saw was some really good consistency from a good bulk of our kids, which is what we want to see. I said in a radio interview the other day, year one, you're kind of hoping, praying, sending text messages that you get anyone to show up.
Right.
And now we're in year 3, and I feel like it's an expectation that we have people there to prepare for the football season, that we want to do the things that we need to do. So that was great. In that time frame also, we moved houses. So it was a crazy summer.
Some major life events back to back there.
Yeah, big life events along with football kind of kicking off. So it's been crazy. And now we're finally kind of settling into some routine. Weight room was good for us this summer. You're always going to have a couple kids, man, you wish you would have saw a few more times. But like I had said earlier, the good bulk of our kids are really starting to understand and grasp what we're trying to accomplish here at Jesup, but not just for football, but for everyone when it comes to the weight room, and being consistent over a 4-year period and then showing up and working your tail off. So I was pleased with that. And then going into July, we went to Central College in Pella for the team camp, and that's always a great experience. We went down with Independence when I was coaching there, and I always thought, man, if I get a head coaching job, I want to try and get down here. We played schools from 1A to I think the first school we played was a 6A in Illinois.
Quite the difference.
Quite the difference in just our student population. Their high school enrollment was about the size of Jesup, which is a big difference. But what you get down there is you get no preparation for like game film or a scouting report, which is things we do every week. But you also in that same week are going to see pretty much every offense, defense that you would see in a season. in 3 days. And you got to learn on the fly. You got to be able to go through your rules and your foundations of your system in your head and figure that out. And I was really pleased seeing some of the growth some of the guys stepping into big roles this year had just in those few days.
Awesome. Nice. One thing in talking throughout the summer with you is you have some different faces on the staff. So new faces, different places.
Yeah.
So talk about some new faces that you have on the staff. Maybe you have some staff that are different places, middle school, high school, middle school, flipping. So you don't have to go into the full bio with everybody, but just kind of talk about some new faces that we'll see on the Jayhawk sideline.
Yeah. So I actually have quite a bit of new faces. Which can be difficult at times when there's some turnover. And some guys had to step away last year that we're really grateful for that did a great job for the few years I was here, that just with other obligations and families and careers, it just wasn't going to work for them anymore. So the door is always open for them if they want to come back, if you're watching this. But starting with some of our high school guys. So Tony D'Souza, he has 23 years of coaching experience at Union High School and some of their best years. And he came on staff this year. He's been doing outstanding. Cole Bolwick, he's a younger guy from Dyersville, played football at Wartburg, coached a little at Dyersville and Ames. We kind of had a mutual friend that got us in contact over the winter when he was moving back to this area with his wife and daughter. And we got him hooked up. He's coaching here. He's coaching our offensive line, and he's doing outstanding. And then we have Will Lee, who's a middle school science teacher. He was coaching at Knoxville before, and he's done an amazing job. He is I would say the thing I appreciate most about Will is his willingness to jump right in, get after it, and just prepping like scout cards, film stuff. He's really good at that and that behind the scenes stuff that is instrumental to us being successful. And we've already seen that in the summertime. So shout out to Will for that. And then John Patterson moving up to the high school with us. So bringing John on. I just told him the other day at practice, man, watching him work with our receivers and DBs, his drills are outstanding. His attention to detail is outstanding. The pace is great. And so, all four of those guys in the high school have been absolutely amazing. Like I said earlier, it's kind of hard when you have some turnover and you're bringing new faces around and you're not sure what it's going to look like exactly. And you always hope you get the right fit. And that's why you talk to these people and sit down with them and go through things and your philosophy and theirs. And I would say we absolutely got the right fit for us with all those guys, and they're killing it. They have made a huge impact in our program already. So super happy with that. Then at the middle school, we still have Devin Kinsling, Tanner DeWall, Ardell Oshner, and then Tyler D'Souza is jumping on the middle school staff to help out as well. So really happy with those guys. I think those four guys have different skill sets but the same mindset. We're here to grow football. We want this to be fun. We want to be challenged. We want to teach these kids how to win and how to do it right, and how to play football. So really excited about our staff. I think they've done some amazing things, and I've seen that in these few weeks as we've really got to roll here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you're looking at the scrimmage tonight, if you see some different faces, we don't have any bingo cards or any Where's Waldo. So just those are some names that you can be looking out for when you see those faces on the sideline. You can understand who they are. Scrimmage tonight versus North Fayette Valley. What can we see tonight? Game kicks off. Scrimmage is Gatorade game. Sorry, is at 6 p.m. tonight. Cross country scrimmage starts here at 5 p.m. I already have the script of kind of what it's going to look like, but what are you expecting tonight from your Jayhawks?
Yeah, one of the things that you go into a scrimmage, I guess, in my mindset is every year, and this is the cool thing about high school football, you're not going to get the same guys more than 4 years. And when it comes to varsity athletes, you're going to get most of those guys for 2 years. Some might only be a starter for 1 year for you. And so, as the guys have jumped into the preseason, they've done a really nice job. And we've seen some of them just really grow a ton in that. And their leadership's been great. But when we get pads on, we strap it up against someone else. What I really want to see is how do we handle those moments on the field? What does that look like for us? And really you start to see how those pieces fall together because there's always some tweaking you have to do early in the season. And hopefully your trajectory is this way as you make some of those changes, as you learn more about your team. So tonight, our scrimmage, it's going to be different than it has been the last 2 years with CPU. We did a lot more segmented stuff with CPU in the sense of like an inside run period, a 7-on-7 period, a team period, a goal line period. That was fine. After each scrimmage, it didn't feel great to me. So we're going to do some more true kind of game situations. We'll do some actual special teams. We'll have some series of offense at the beginning where it's thud tempo, meaning we're not tackling, we're just rapping high and hard, and it's a quick whistle. And then we'll get into a full live period at the end where it's kickoff, kick return, and then you're driving, moving the ball, and punt, turnover, touchdown, whatever it is. And then we'll keep that rolling at the end. So then kind of at the towards the very end, we'll do some situations, third down, third and short, third and medium, third and long, some goal line situations, and then we're going to kick some field goals at the end and have some fun. So, yeah, I would expect, if you've been watching our scrimmage, it's going to look a little different. But what we want to see out of coaches is, what do our guys look like when it matters, when you're not lining up against your teammate in a drill or in a live period in practice, you're lining up against somebody with a different colored jersey on, and how do you handle those situations when it goes well and when it doesn't go well?
Yeah, I remember in my time being a high school football player, and in my time during my coaching career, that after 2 weeks, you're ready to be and hit somebody else. So boys, I'm sure, are geared up and ready to go and hit somebody else besides someone they're going to have class with later next week. All right, Coach, sounds great. Cross-country scrimmage, 5 p.m. Get into the football scrimmage tonight. Bring 1 12-ounce Gatorade, or bring more so the boys can have something during halftime during the games. Coach, I'm going to tell you, 3 words get murmured at our house quite often: Football Friday, donuts with Dad, and Mom's home. And those are the best 3 words that we have at our house. So, Coach, good luck tonight. And yeah, we'll see you tonight.
Yeah, thank you.